So, I think our topic of discussion this evening is on the Buddhist view. Buddhist view on death and dying and the Bardo teachings. Generally speaking, we all experience, certain element of fear or uneasiness when it comes to the subject of death and dying. And our mind is so used to denying such reality very well. Right? We have mastered in this skill of denial. This denial is nothing new. Nothing new, we're just getting better and more skilled. But let's say 2,500 years ago, when there was this young prince called Siddhartha, right, who later became Buddha, Shakyamuni. When he was a young prince, his father did everything to deny, everything to cover the suffering and the pain from his son, the young prince Siddhartha. When he set out on a journey to see the city, the king sent out a troop beforehand to clean up the streets, like we do in modern cities, right? When the foreign diplomats come, we send out the troops to clean everything, like in the streets of New York. And the homeless people are gone for a few days. Yeah, like that. The history of denial goes all the way back to beginning of our existence. It's nothing new. But we're just getting better. Yeah. It's like a computer, right? Each year it's getting better and slower. Yes. So the question here is denial really the solution for our fear, for our suffering? Right? Does it really help us to overcome our suffering of death and dying? That's a question we must ask. And this question can also reflect to people that we know and people that we didn't know, but we hear stories about, who has been denying the reality of death and dying, and then at the end, did it really overcome their fear of death and dying? Yes. From the Buddhist point of view, denial creates more suffering, right? More pain, which is very similar to some of the Christian teachings, right? Little suffering you deny, not being able to bear a little fear, a little suffering, you deny more and more, and then the suffering is going to increase, right? More and more. That's actually kind of a human nature. For example, I'll give you an example. Like let's say someone who doesn't drink beer. I don't know if you can find anyone in Germany. But let's say you go to October Festival, right? And you find someone who's just there helping, enjoying, accompanying, but not drinking. Right? He's just enjoying, but he doesn't want to drink. He or she doesn't drink. But you go and tell that person, you're not allowed to drink. Right? The moment you say that, his or her desire to drink will increase. Right? The moment you tell any human being, you cannot do this, the desire to do that naturally increases. That's why monks are having a hard time. So denial is like that. Denial. More you say no, no to your fear is going to increase. Right? Same logic. And this teaching also exists in Christianity. I will read you this quote from, Thomas Merton, Christian mystic. He said, "The truth that many people never understand until it is too late is that the more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer, because smaller and more insignificant things begin to torture you in proportion to your fear of being hurt." Right? This is a beautiful quote from Thomas Merton. I'll read you again. I love this quotation. I should have actually memorized it by now. The truth that many people never understand until it is too late is that the more you try to avoid suffering, the more you suffer, because the smaller and more insignificant things begin to torture you in proportion to your fear of being hurt. Right? You're afraid of being hurt by this thing called death and dying. Because of that, you try to deny, and because of such denying or avoiding such a suffering, that you put so much effort and waste so much time in denying this fear, which in itself is a process of torturing yourself. Right? You don't think that to torture you, you're torturing yourself.